Welcome to Beyond the Nebula, where humanity doesn't just survive, we rewrite the stars. These original HFY stories explore what happens when humans show the galaxy what we're truly made of. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like and comment. It helps us reach more sci-fi fans like you. And if you love tales where humans shake the galaxy, subscribe to Beyond the Nebula for weekly uploads. Original story by Beyond the Nebula, AI-assisted, human-created. Narrated by Beyond the Nebula. New episodes every week. Kavresh of the Tivok didn't kneel. She was warborn, carved in ritual flame, raised in the steel chambers of Vareth Prime. She wore her armor like a second skin, moved with the precision of a cutting blade, and killed with elegance. In her 30 cycles of service, she'd never once shown deference, never once faltered, until the human bled for her. The first time she saw him, he was just another soft-fleshed anomaly in the chaos of the battlefield. Commander Harris, they called him, human strike ops leader, Terran Alliance liaison, and in Kavresh's opinion, entirely too bold for his own survival. He laughed too loud, talked too much, smiled during combat briefings. He called her Kev even after her repeated warnings. Then came the ambush on Rix Theta. Plasma cracked through air, dismembering Tivok formations. Their line was crumbling. Kavresh, separated from her unit, took cover in a half-collapsed loading bay. Her armor was fractured, her weapon empty. She braced for the end. Instead, a human dove over the barrier beside her. "Kev," he wheezed, "you look terrible." Commander Harris, bloodied, barely armed, somehow still smirking. "You should not be here," she growled. "Neither should you." The next moment, a scorned soldier emerged, rifle raised. Kavresh reached for her backup blade, but too late. Harris moved first. He leapt into the line of fire, took the bolt to the shoulder, then landed atop the enemy in a tangled scream of fury and fists. The alien went down. Harris slumped back, eyes fluttering. "You're welcome," he muttered, and passed out. They both survived. The medical bays were full of whispers. Tivok didn't form bonds. They respected strength, hierarchy, and cold efficiency. Yet Kavresh refused reassignment, refused rest. She sat beside the unconscious human, watching over him like a ritual guardian. When he woke, weeks later, the first thing he did was grin. "Hey, Kev, heard you babysat me." She should have ignored him, should have walked away, but something foreign stirred in her chest. She stayed. No one understood why she shadowed him. When Harris returned to active duty, Kavresh followed him onto the field, always 2 paces behind, always silent. She spoke little, fought brutally, and glared down anyone who asked why she was there. The humans joked about it. She imprinting on him or what? Bet she just wants his rations. But the laughter faded after Gore Nexus. Enemy forces overwhelmed their flank. Command fell. Officers fled. Only Harris's unit remained, cut off, wounded and cornered in a cratered ravine. Kavresh took command without a word, moved like smoke and lightning. Her blade never stopped moving. 17 soldiers lived because of her. Harris lost 2 ribs and a lung. She carried him 5 kilometers on her back. When evac arrived, she dropped him on the medbed and stood watch until the ship docked. Command grew uneasy. Tivok leadership issued a recall. She ignored it. Earth diplomats tried diplomacy. She didn't respond. When General Malin demanded she explain her obsession, she answered with one word: ode. The humans didn't understand, not fully. To them, loyalty was optional, earned, negotiated. To the Tivok, a life debt was eternal. Kavresh hadn't asked to feel this, hadn't wanted the burden. But every time she closed her eyes, she saw him bleeding on that loading bay floor, shielding her, and she couldn't walk away from that. The siege of Red Spire changed everything. Red Spire Outpost was Earth's last line on Eltar 4, a geostationary platform hanging over a planet-sized weapons facility. The Dominion had thrown their best at it, elite Scorn units, burrowing drone swarms, orbital bombardment. Harris was stationed there. Kavresh followed. When the breach alarm sounded, she was already in motion. Her orders were to defend Engineering Bay Alpha, but she heard it, his voice on the scrambled comms, static in agony. "Kev, breach, deck 3. Then silence. Kavresh made her choice. She left her post, disregarded chain of command, fought through collapsing corridors and firestorms of shrapnel. She didn't feel the burns, didn't count the kills. She found Harris under a collapsed beam, his leg mangled, blood everywhere. "You shouldn't have come," he whispered. She didn't answer. She lifted the beam, screamed as it tore through muscle, pulled him free, dragged him down emergency ladders through flame-choked vents into the belly of a vac. When the final shell struck the outpost, they were airborne. Barely. Court-martial proceedings started before Harris had healed. Kavresh stood in silence as the tribunal listed her violations: dereliction of duty, disobedience, abandonment of post. Her expression didn't change. "Do you deny these charges?" the presiding admiral asked. "No," she said. "And your justification?" She looked to Harris, still pale, still on crutches, watching from the gallery. "I swore my debt," she said. "I honored it." The room fell silent. The tribunal adjourned. She was cleared. Reluctantly. "Don't expect medals," one officer muttered. "I expect nothing," she said. War ended months later. The Dominion surrendered. Earth stood victorious. The galaxy shifted. Kavresh returned to Varith. She received a hero's welcome, statues, songs, commendations. But she didn't smile. She disappeared days later. They found her 3 weeks after the war. A freighter captain posted a holopic. Harris, out of uniform, sitting on a balcony beside a sleepy Martian vineyard, a bottle of red in his hand, sunset behind him. Beside him, hulking in frame, armor retired for a long coat stitched with Tevok symbols, was Kavresh. They weren't speaking in the photo. They didn't need to. Years passed. Whispers turned to legend. Some said Kavresh had been appointed Earth's secret ambassador to the Tevok homeworld. Others claimed she and Harris vanished into deep space. But those who'd fought in the Red Spire campaign remembered something different. They remembered the look in her eyes when Harris nearly died. Not rage, not vengeance, grief. Real, unfiltered, utterly human grief. Because somehow, somewhere along the way, she'd become one of them. Not by species, by choice, by heart. One day, a cadet stumbled across a preserved comlog from Red Spire, buried deep in archive storage, corrupted in places, mostly static, but the last transmission was clear. A human voice, weak but unbroken. "Kev, if you're hearing this, I hope you made it out. I'm probably not gonna... And that's okay. I don't regret it." A pause. "You don't owe me. You never did. But if I get to choose who finds me in the afterlife, I hope it's you." The message ended. Below it, another file had been added, encrypted but unlocked with one phrase: "I do not kneel." Inside was a recording, Tevok language, translated to standard. Kavresh's voice. "You were wrong, human. I did owe you. Not for the life, for the heart." If you enjoyed this story, leave a like and comment. It helps us reach more sci-fi fans like you. And if you love tales where humans shake the galaxy, subscribe to Beyond the Nebula for weekly uploads. Original story by Beyond the Nebula, AI-assisted, human-created. Narrated by Beyond the Nebula. New episodes every week.